Hey friends, Happy New Year. I'm having an interesting morning. I woke up with a pain kind of right between my shoulder blades, base of the neck, upper back, and I was like, what did I do? I got decent sleep last night. Decent, not great, but I hadn't. There's no explanation for why that part of my neck should be hurting, that part of my back should be hurting. So I started thinking, well, Dr. John Sarno attributes all pain in the back of the spine to trapped emotion. What if that's what's going on? So I started to feel into my body, and I actually Googled emotion trapped in the shoulders and upper back. First place I hit. Upper back is where we hold repressed grief and sadness. And so then I started to, which, it's right around the heart. It's basically the back space of the heart. And so I started to feel into that. And I'm just really having a hard time leaving Annalise. And it puts me in a conundrum. On one level, it's, completely and unequivocally evident that what I'm doing professionally is far less important to me than being a good father and giving Annalise the support she needs, the right, the energy she needs from me, the guidance, sometimes it's boundaries, sometimes it's softness. But on another level, she also needs a father who has interests in the world and does exciting things. I'm not saying she needs that, but I'm saying there's benefit to that. That's what I want for her. I want her to have that feeling that she can do anything, that she can go anywhere she needs to go in order to live her dreams. And so I'm kind of caught because I'm manifesting both. I'm manifesting both things right now, and it came through. It came through interestingly as a dialogue between masculine and feminine energy. If the feminine energy is the embrace, the enclosure, the kind of holding of someone or energy that's nurturing and reliable and always there. And masculine energy is directional, striking out, projectile. Then this trip clearly January 1st, 2022, is a manifestation of that other side of the of that masculine energy. And it feels healthy in so many ways. It's so interesting to me because it's been every other time this has ever happened to me in my life, I've just gotten fully, there was like no question about what I was leaving behind. It was always just, let's go, like bang, you know. It was so, I was so possessed by that energy that it kind of, any other considerations were just sort of either not considered or they just weren't even on my radar. It wasn't like I was dismissing things I thought were important or would have probably said were important if I were asked. It's just that they didn't feature in the way that I was approaching my life. And now I think I've integrated the masculine and the feminine a little more. So they influence, I can't manifest this masculine energy divorced from the feminine. It's like I'm registering the response that it has on the feminine within myself. I don't need Katie to react, or I don't need another woman in my life to react to it in order to be aware of it. And interestingly, as we've approached this trip, which is by far the biggest, it's also the longest time Katie and I have probably ever spent apart since our relationship really got going. And interestingly, we've had no real conflict about it. It hasn't been something that, whereas in the past there's generally been a day or a moment where things kind of get wonky and we have to realize, what we're feeling here is what's about to happen. We're feeling this transition. We're feeling this break about to happen. And so we're each manifesting our own version of defending ourselves against the feeling of that. And that hasn't happened this time. And I think it's because we're both getting conscious enough that we're feeling it without needing to come into conflict. So it's interesting. At the end of the day, what I hope to impart to Annalise is a capacity to hold all the different energies inside of her, all the different cosmic forces that drive her and every other human being, from the most masculine energy to the most feminine and the spectrum in between, and to do so consciously and to kind of feel that polarity. It's like we talk about feeling polarities, we talk about holding polarities, or holding paradoxes. Holding a polarity is slightly different than holding a paradox, but it's often the same. We talk about that intellectually in many ways. We talk about that in various strategies, business strategies, or relationship, psychological strategies, approaches. But man, there is an emotional component. And so, in so many ways, this affirms that. It affirms that work. As soon as I started feeling things. My back pain also just started to unravel. Still there, but it's but it was like immediately, like my whole body just was like a sponge that was like tense, and then it's like, oh yeah, that's what wants to flow through. I'm just sad, and so I'm holding on really tight in this upper back area. And now I can work with it, you know. I can feel it. I keep wanting to summarize this, but I think I've kind of already summarized it. It's both a really healthy feeling to be in touch with what's going on emotionally. It puts me in touch beyond my own sphere. You know, that's the thing about integrating the masculine and the feminine, is that we become able to integrate and like reach into, perceive into a much larger portion of the world. We're not so stuck in one domain, and that's what I think is happening to me. I'm like, why? Because it's not that I'm not excited to go to a new city and start a new project and learn a bunch of new music, work up a band and play a show. It's going to be awesome. It's just, there's an emotional cost here. And there's an emotional connection to my daughter and my wife. Both of them. I think I feel it with Annalise because I feel more responsible for her. I feel, of course, responsible for Katie too, but Katie's a grown woman. She's a partner in this. But I have all the excitement and all the inspiration. I've just also got this. Oh God. My dad did this for years. And I think maybe on some level I'm feeling that journey too. You know, I'm feeling my own childhood in the context of a family that worked like this. So, plenty going on here on New Year's Day. Welcome 2022. I'm feeling stuff. We're off to a good start. Things are flowing. I mean, it feels absolutely remarkable. Absolutely remarkable. And I feel so blessed that this is how the year is kicking off. I'm also just having to integrate a new level of emotional reality now. And man, I just want the girl to be happy and know that I love her more than anything in the world. I tell her that all the time, but she's 3. I can't tell. She's actually... Maybe I shouldn't be so dismissive of 3-year-olds' capacity to perceive that. She says, yes. I say, do you know I love you with all my heart? Yes. And then moving right on, keep doing the thing you were doing, Papa. Let's not stop the show just because you're telling me you love me. Anyway, folks. Love you. It's going to be a hell of a year. I appreciate you. Happy New Year. Have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow.